I don't like it in the closet, but I have my integrity, wizards.
Well, wizards don't have integrity, so I don't have to worry about the closet. It's true, though. Wizards don't have integrity.
Then he's just yelling through the closet door for the rest of the episode.
I was recording all by the way.
You'll regret this. You'll regret this 50,000 subscribers later when I come back with an awesome Terminator body and kick your wizard ass.
Oh God. It's like a 500,000 special. It's just the fucking. He's just the Terminator now.
Oh God, I have to wait till 500,000 to get a full body. Oh God.
Yeah, every 10,000 subscribers will add a piece.
I hadn't decided on what milestones would get what body parts, but dang, all right, now it's gonna be like reverse Hangman, like putting a finger on every time. All right. I'm gonna get one like dinky little robot arm and just kind of like crawl over to you and slap you in the face. Like really kind of just like a sassy backhand.
With just the one finger.
Just like the one head, one arm, and like a floppy spine coming out the back.
Welcome to R&R, Rant and Raves. I'm Richard.
Raves. I'm Ryan. I'm Rant and Ryan. And he's Raven. Richard. We'll swap each episode.
It depends on the subject.
Actually, yeah. Who will be ranting and who will be raving today?
I guess it's just going to depend on the subject.
It's gonna be a bit of both.
On the show, we're going to be talking about just the random nerdy shit that interests us and oftentimes nobody else.
Yep. We're starting off on an even keel topic, something we both know a good bit about.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with...
Drum roll. It's already in the title, so you already know what we're gonna say.
It's Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. Yay! The hornier Star Trek.
It is though. It really just is.
Which is great because Star Trek just cannot write more than a sentence about sex to save its life. It's the most embarrassing thing to watch on TV.
All right, so
Mass Effect though, yeah, it's got
there's plenty of waifus for you to
space babes running around. Yeah. Okay, let's start off with the most important topic then. Do the Asari bother you?
What do you mean?
It always kind of gets into my head a little bit whenever there's an alien species that is explicitly the sexy one, like the Twi'lek usually in Star Wars, or whereas the Asari are the sexiest of sexy aliens because their superpower is to have sex with aliens.
Yeah, and then and whenever they have sex, the children are always Asari.
Yeah, the Asari are such like a magical anomaly of space. To create this species that their one like genetic benefit besides magic powers, because you have to always give them magic powers, is to just bang aliens. Like they're built around the concept, their whole civilization. The reason they're out in space, right, is because
the pure ones have like a high risk of becoming those like genetic freaks that murder everything they have sex with, right?
Yeah, like they don't. It's not only that they can have sex with aliens, they have to have sex with aliens. That's like their point. They were designed around that concept. It's so crazy to me. This
reminds me of like that little interaction for those of you who haven't played the game. It's an RPG in space, and there are parts where your character can like walk around in like little hubs outside of the mission structure, and at one point you're walking around this like planet, and there's like this you're on this Asari home
bachelor party.
Yeah, at the bachelor party, and they're like and there's like 3 different species of aliens talking about which species the Asari most look like and or appealing to, and like there's a Turian, a human, and a Solarian.
So there's a sexy bird man, a monkey man, and one of those little guys from the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, basically, and they're all like arguing about the different features of the Asari body to be like, look, it's most appealing to my species because of this.
Yeah, you notice there wasn't an Elcor at the table. I think they look like me. Because I've got this wavy pattern on my snout. They have a wavy pattern on their heads.
You forgot. They have to like interject.
Oh, right.
With their emotions. They're like,
you're right.
Horny. It's like horny indignation. They must look like
horny. You're right. I have to turn in my Mass Effect card. I've already just like completely forgot the one thing the Elcor are known for. The one thing that they do.
The Elcor are like a species of like elephant people kind of things who have like such subtle like their speech patterns are like, apparently they have different speech patterns, but it all comes out as super monotone for everyone else.
They're super like, were they like really high frequency? Or were they just really subtle?
I think it was just like super subtle, like just incredibly subtle that only another Elcor can pick up on it. So when they deal with other species, they just straight up say what their tone is or what they're feeling in the moment. So always like they'll be like outstanding anger. I will wipe you out for your murder of my family.
Since we're going to be talking eventually about the indoctrination theory, I know you wanted to mention. Are we going to be spoiling Mass Effect? Because I'm thinking most people probably know Mass Effect a bit.
Yeah, I think we should put like a big disclaimer right here. If you haven't played the Mass Effect games at all, you should go do that. Can't recommend them enough.
They're super classic, good BioWare times,
The good times before the dark times, which is what we're currently living in
before the Empire. Yeah, the year of our Dark Lord 2020.
Yeah, the year of our Dark Lord Papa Palpatine.
And we've got Anthem and. I think that's it. What else have they made? Probably a card game at some point when I wasn't paying attention.
Did they make a card game? I didn't even know.
I have no idea.
Oh, no. Anyways, big spoilers from here on out. Because we're not...
Tally's... I was just going to throw my favorite spoilers out in a big, long list, but all right.
We'll see. We'll let this happen naturally.
All right.
I'm going to take a sip of my coffee real quick. I'm going to cut this out later.
All right, you do that. I'm going to say something offensive to the majority of the audience.
Okay.
You know what? I don't want you to have an audio recording of me saying a lot of that.
Because I would definitely leave it in, of course.
You'd be able to use it for all manner of memes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So to answer your question, no, the Asari don't bother me.
Right. It was more of a rhetorical question. They don't really bother me either. That's just really funny.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question.
Because the Twi'lek aren't explicitly the sexy aliens. They're just the aliens that Star Wars uses, to put up a sexy lady alien character.
Yeah.
Whereas the Asari are the opposite. It's their entire character and race are built around being the sexy aliens.
Exactly. I like that. I think it's like... I think personally the series handles it very well. Okay. I mean, I don't think it. I don't think it doesn't handle it well. I just think it's funny for what it is. Oh yeah, no.
I really like the Asari characters. Like each individual character isn't built around that concept. Like Liara,
Yeah.
She's not really interested in that. She's more of a scientist.
So in fact, Samara explicitly is like, I can't. No more children. I don't wanna.
So their characters aren't tied into being the sexy aliens, but the race's character is. They even have sexy vampires.
We'll have to talk about the sexy vampires.
We'll get to that. What do you think is a good broad starter topic? Just what we think about Mass Effect as a whole.
I think Generally, yeah. We can start very broad. When I think of Mass Effect, I think of like that perfect bridging the gap between science fantasy and science fiction.
Yeah, mean? I'd say Mass Effect is really good about its cohesiveness most of the time. Because
I really like just. On one hand, you're like, oh, cool. There's like an explanation for everything. But then like that explanation could also be like, we found this magic rock and now we can travel faster than life.
There are quite a few, there's a few different instances of magic rocks, if I'm right.
Yeah, there's element 0 and then there's like other stuff that I don't even want to get into. But like,
it's like if Star Trek was a lot smaller, just because Star Trek's gone on for so long, it's had so many hands in the pot that it's fundamentally just all over the map now. Mass Effect, though, is the same sort of balance of science fantasy, science fiction as Star Trek, where everything has its own made up reason to work. And those reasons stay pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know, like Star Trek, you know, it has its magic crystals that let you travel through space. Mass Effect has different magic crystals. I think Mass Effect's a little better about it in some cases, though, because it's so
they don't just like say, yeah, the dilithium crystals just and now we're on the other side of the galaxy. No, they're like, yeah, the Mass Effect allows us to create these Mass Effect fields, which allow us to like, and they go like, isn't like, I'm pretty sure the science is that like they can manipulate the mass of objects and they can reduce it to almost 0, which reduces the amount of energy required to accelerate the object to light speed. Although eventually you'd get to a point where that wouldn't really work. Anyway, it's still, that's where the part comes in.
You can't be so infinitesimal that you can outpace infinity.
Yeah.
Eventually, as you accelerate this infinitesimally small object, it still can't travel faster than light. But you know what? The Protheans totally built the mass relays, and those can do it. So
yeah, because they just like slingshot you.
But the thing is, they actually care about that. I'm pretty sure without the mass relays, you can't beat light speed. You can just get close to it, right?
Yeah, without the relays, you're pretty much like trapped traveling close to light speed, but like basically you're like stranded.
Yeah, I think Mass Effect actually handles itself better than a lot of Star Trek in terms of its consistency.
It's very consistent.
Well,
the codex in Mass Effect is one of my favorite things because, like, I know, depending on what kind of person you are, I'm the kind of person that, like, when I'm playing an RPG, because RPGs are my favorite kind of games, I am all in on the lore, and that's like the more lore you got going on, the better. And just the sexy narrator voice they got, that guy with that old guy with the voice going on.
The Solarians are warm-blooded amphibians with a hyperactive metabolism. It's like, I really wanted to know. Thank you so much, Space Admiral.
I needed to know this. The guy sounds, it's like if Chris Hansen like retired from Catching Predators and was now reading me science fiction novels.
Man, I wish that we had, like, Commander Shepard had met that guy. Like, you sound familiar.
Hold on.
He's like on the Citadel.
He's just like, Shepard, I've heard about you before. Would you care for me to read a chapter for you from your favorite book? And Shepard's like, yes, please do. I need it. Give it to me.
He'd like update your codex like freaking Professor Oak with the Pokedex. It's like, wow, Shepard, let me give you the Codex 2.0.
You try to use your gun inside of like a no combat zone in the game, and it's just like, Shepard, you're not supposed to do that here.
That could actually be kind of neat if he was like, here's the Codex 2.0. It's got a VI with my sort of intonation and personality in it that can write Codex articles for you based on stuff that your scientists discover. That would explain why he knows so much about the Reapers.
Oh, God.
Actually, that's okay. This is interesting now. I don't know if there's actually a lore hiccup here or if we need to question who the narrator of the Codex is, because the narrator of the Codex knows quite a few like galactic secrets that you only just figured out.
I think my theory now is that like he is an AI. Like he is just
an AI that's kind of what he would have to be.
Yeah. And he just updates it as new information is presented.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and I'm gonna bring us in now that we've like covered broadly Mass Effect. I want to like move into something very specific. I'm gonna say something because I know you, for those listening, I love sci-fi and I love fantasy, but I lean a little bit more into the fantasy. But Ryan here is like all in on the sci-fi.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm pretty into fantasy too, but yeah, in general, I definitely lean heavier into sci-fi.
I'm going to say something a little heretical because I know that like this, I don't think I'm alone in this by any means, but I personally think that Mass Effect has the best spaceship designs out of any sci-fi.
I can't actually disagree with you in too many instances. Really? It's pretty much that. No, it is that high up there for me. The Normandy is Normandy SR2. I like it a little more. Is probably my favorite hero ship outside of probably Serenity.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, very different reasons. Like the Normandy is the sleekest and sexiest, functional, kind of capable hero ship.
Yeah.
In sci-fi. It's if I had to pick say my lady loves Star Trek and pluck a ship from that lineup, I'd probably say the Intrepid class from Voyager, but that's for all the same reasons I love the Normandy.
Yeah.
it perfectly blends a very sleek kind of retro sci-fi aesthetic with a very functional design that just feels like it would work.
Yeah.
Despite, it's kind of an airplane. That's
the thing is that personally, I'm just going to say mine. I'm going to ask you yours, but like my favorite spaceship of all time in any medium is the Normandy SR2. Like that's my favorite.
Yeah. I don't think it's my favorite of all time, but as like a hero,
I just love it. It's like, it's just like you said, it's sleek, it's functional, it looks amazing. I love it, and I'm gonna say this right now. I kind of actually prefer the Cerberus paint job on it.
Oh, I absolutely prefer the Cerberus paint job. Cerberus, if nothing else, had style. Yeah, they were the coolest, but they were so cool looking. The elusive man still has the best office I've ever seen in anything. God.
Yeah, I know. I remember because my first time playing Mass Effect, I actually started with 2 because I borrowed it from my friend Mikey. He was like, "Have you ever played Mass Effect?" And I was like,
no. I also started with 2.
Yeah, and like I started with 2, and like you just get that opening with the elusive man in his like little like observation deck, and he's just looking out over that like dying star. And
I could never be sure if he'd actually found a magic star that reflected Commander Shepard's decisions with red or blue colors, or if that was a hologram that he was like hanging out and staring at because he had fun doing it. I never knew if it was a real star or just an illusion.
It was a real star. It was a real star because like in the third game, you go and you attack his base.
Oh, is that like actually around the star that he's always
around the star? Unless I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
If I'm wrong, I will post it in text chat over this video. But
I just didn't know that. Okay, cool. Does the star, because you attack Cerberus in Mass Effect 3?
Yeah.
But that star changes color based on Shepard's final decision in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Does that decision carry over? Did Shepard, being a good guy or a bad boy, change the color of a star somewhere?
I don't think so, because I remember that when you're fighting that that cyborg ninja in that room.
Oh, that Deus Ex Human Revolution guy.
Yeah, it started with
Kai Lang.
Kai Lang, yeah. When you're fighting Kai Lang, I remember the star being red. Being
okay. It's probably red regardless. I don't think anyone in the world would have cared about the color of the star.
No, I don't. There might be like one person on like a forum that's been buried and lost to time being like, in Mass Effect 2, I made the good boy choice and now it's blue, but it wasn't blue in 3, and this is the worst problem with 3. People would post in the comments, it's like, hey, the colors of gigantic space circle events like stars don't matter. The color of the space circle doesn't matter. And then like they got to the end and they were like, see?
Oh shit, this is it, man. The end of Mass Effect 2, the ending only changes, the star's blue or the star's red. And Commander Shepard's like, damn, I changed the color of one star. Next, I'm going to try to change the color of the galaxy. And maybe, just maybe, I'll make it green.
Just like, I'm Commander Shepard. If I want to make the galaxy green, I goddamn will. The green choice is the worst choice. No,
destruction is the only reasonable choice.
Thank you. Can I rant for just a second?
Well, yeah, sure. Let's just hit it. Are we doing the ending? Are we talking about the ending?
We'll come back to spaceships in a second. But like,
I think we just agree that the Normandy is the nicest spaceship car. Yeah, it's the one we want.
Hold on, wait. Let's finish the spaceship talk. We have to make some
like put a bottle on that little genie bottle at the ending there. Yeah, put a cork in that.
That'll be like our big finale, complaining about that shit. But like,
good lord. All right.
Okay.
Man, I'm putting I just took off my shirt for that. Putting my jacket on, dejected. Mass Effect ending. I'll have to wait.
Okay.
All right. Spaceships.
We're both in agreement that the SR2 is the best spaceship in Mass Effect 2, in the Mass Effect series.
Yes, and one of the best spaceships ever.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good.
All right. Yeah. Here's where things are going to take a turn. What do you think is the worst spaceship design in the game?
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to kind of go through them a little bit and think about this because we've got. I know you don't like the Destiny Ascension. I feel like we're gonna build to that.
I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that because I remember people really liking the Destiny's Ascension as like a big in your face galaxy building piece where you're just like, wow, because like that's like your introduction to the Citadel.
Well, yeah, because they can't just show you one incredibly cool, huge space thing. They have to show you two at once to really get you.
Yeah, because like you show up to the Citadel, which for those who don't know, the Citadel is like...
It's an O'Neill cylinder with a city in it.
Yeah, with a city in it, and it's basically like if the UN was also a city... It's basically Coruscant. It's just one giant city where everyone comes out and does business.
Coruscant. The entire planet is one big city. There's Chancellor Valorum's shuttle. You get that scene, though.
You do.
In Mass Effect 1, you approach the city and it's like, there's the Destiny Ascension. Look, there's Chancellor Valorum.
Yeah, so like
as you fly in.
You're approaching the Citadel, and then they're like, wow, look, it's because the Alliance is like the human army, right? So like,
yeah, the human space branch that just got some kind of political stake in the Citadel. Can we mention just how funny it is that the ancient races found the Citadel and were like, dude, it's got a city in it. Let's just put up shops here.
Capitalism at its finest.
I mean, I just never knew. Was the Citadel like blank and we built the cities on it? Or were the cities already there waiting for us, built by the Reapers? Like the Reapers are...
I actually don't know that. You would think like that with the Keepers.
Like, you know what? The Keepers are... it was probably blank. Humanoids probably landed on it. The Keepers activated and we're like, they're going to want a city. City settings.
You think?
And then they build SimCity.
City?
Probably. I feel like the Reapers would understand. Although you never know, there could be just some rule that 90% of life in space is people. There's just some universal consistency that the Reapers knew about. So they're like, you know what? We'll just leave cities on it. Everyone has been tiny, like perfectly sized people dolls in our galaxy. So we're just going to keep the cities. Either that's the case, or I feel like the Keepers probably built it for, the Turians and the Asari.
Okay. I mean, they work fast, so I wouldn't doubt it.
They're just like matter printers, they're just...
Yeah.
Here's Commander Shepard's future favorite store on the Citadel, pre-furbished and ready to go.
But yeah, so the Alliance shows up, and then there's the what is it called? It's like the
Destiny Ascension?
No. But isn't there like a name for like the United military?
There's the Alliance and there's the Council. I don't know about any of
military. Anyway, so like the the Joint Race Coalition. I think it had a name, but I'm completely blanking right now. But like, yeah, they're like, look, it's the capital ship of the Council's military, and like, I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. But then like, as I like looked at it more, I was just like, it's kind of just like a box.
It's like a giant. It's like the Enterprise D's like middle glowy bit, the deflector.
Yeah,
it's just that part of the ship, and then with like a Christmas star kind of growing out of it. Yeah. You know, I think I would like it. Like, I do like it. I do feel like it's got problems. I like it because it feels like it was based on a mass relay a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, its design really looks like a mass relay. It's got the same sort of canyons running through a smooth kind of light gray surface. It's all very sweeping. I feel like the Asari were copying what they'd found a little bit. Yeah, without just being a flying mass relay.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Like, I like that about it. I don't like the top fin. I kind of wish that top fin was just gone and it was a smooth. Yeah. Because I like its kind of aquatic manta ray sort of suggestion. But I feel like that top thing just makes it look like that Christmas star that attacked in Doctor Who.
Oh my God, that is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I would like it a lot more if they just got rid of the top fin. If it was just the three. Mm-hmm. If it was just the three fins.
Because I do like it, but I would like it a lot more without that. My worst ship, though, I don't know. I don't remember many bad ones. I like the Geth ships because they look like kind of insects.
Yeah.
Little crickets. Maybe my least favorite. Not the worst design, but the ship that I got tired of seeing first were the Destroyer class Reapers, the littler ones.
Oh.
I liked them, but I was just so disappointed after the legendary, like the special end of Mass Effect 2, where you see a million different kinds of Reapers, like each one was individualized.
Yeah.
Like each Reaper would be a particular kind of character. Which, is what we were shown. And then we only really got two kinds of Reapers, like Sovereign and the little Sovereign.
Yeah, especially.
So and he was just like a laser beam. He was like one of those Oculus, like laser beam eye things they send after you, just with a Reaper shell around it. You know what? That's my least favorite. Those Destroyer class Reapers. I don't like them.
I can get that. I get behind that.
Every time it was one of them and not Sovereign, I was just like, it's the Reaper when they don't want to commit to a Reaper.
Yeah.
It's the battle tank that could be defeated.
Yeah, I get you.
It's like, this could just be Sovereign again. I love Harbinger.
Harbinger is so cool.
Yeah. Least favorite. What's your least favorite? Destiny Ascension?
I gotta go with the Destiny's Ascension. I was thinking at first, I was like, I remember like the Quarians, their life ships, their like little like city ships meant for battle. I remember like thinking those look wonky, but I'm like looking at an image of it right now. I'm like, I actually really fucking dig it. It's like, oh cool. They built like a little, they built like a giant little Death Star, but instead of killing planets, it is a planet essentially. Like it's a little
the giant ball with like a hoop around it, like the microphone ship of the Quarians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I love the Quarian flotilla in general. I find them funny as well. I love all the we should talk about the races actually.
Yeah, let's with a good time to transition.
Well, what I like about these ships, and I know it's probably not what's happening lore-wise, but I love that these primary Quarian ships have these rings inside of them.
Uh-huh.
And I know that that magical fake gravity exists in Mass Effect. You can just have gravity plates or something. Well, it makes actually, you know what? That ties into another thing Mass Effect does very well. Everything ties into Mass Effect fields. Like they only need one magic rock to make their entire space empire work. Because like you can control mass. That gives you inertial dampeners and artificial gravity. How do you have all these cool laser guns? Well, they're not laser guns. They're tiny sand mass accelerator cannon guns.
Oh my God. The weapons, that is one of my goddamn favorite things where they're like, we don't have ammo. Ammo is practically almost infinite because all we really do is we just have a little rock that we shave off a micro bit off of and fire it at light speed at you. And really the only thing that you need like new canisters to take the thermal heat. That's all.
It's brilliant. The guns are so great, and everyone poo-pooed that. Like, now you need ammo. What is this? And they're like, no, that is like the coolest, most detailed reason to make a gameplay change.
Right?
I love the tiny mass accelerator guns. They make so much sense. They've got so much more character than a laser gun, and they don't require an extra magical kind of technology. Like, it's perfect. They're perfect guns.
Yeah. No, out of every, like, another thing I'm going to say, out of all of sci-fi, these guns, best guns.
I don't know about that. I don't actually like Mass Effect guns. No.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them per se, but they don't stand out to me. I can't really imagine one from the other. Like, from what I remember, all the Alliance weapons are different configurations of gray and white rectangles.
I mean, fair.
They're very good, fun, like, gameplay wise.
No,
Halo is a real dead ringer gameplay. Lore. Yeah, lore wise, they're the best.
No.
Design wise, I'm more partial to the ships.
Yeah. Halo guns, just all of them look so unique and different. Like, yeah, Halo wins every time with just weapons.
Yeah, I think so. That's a whole other thing of Mass Effect. I love the lore for the guns. And okay, we agree that the Normandy's like the best ship?
Yeah.
Okay. What are your second favorite ships? Because I think that the Normandy's kind of a shoe-in ringer there.
Oh, God. I think my second favorite ships would probably...
It's not like a contest.
My second favorite just ships in general will probably be, like, in general, the entirety of the Quarian flotilla, if I can cheat.
Okay. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to say the entirety of the Quarian flotilla. That's my second favorite. And then, like, if I just had to say, like, at the bottom, like, if we're going, like, in terms of racial ship design, I would say probably the Asari are, like, my least favorite.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah, all right. So let's move on, and we'll talk about the races in Mass Effect, and we'll just go over each one and talk about our opinions of them. And
that's good.
First one, humans.
I am one. I'll give you my review. You know what? You know.
Yeah.
You know the problems. I assume the audience understands. If they don't, please call me. I'm curious about you.
Okay. I guess up next would probably be let's go in order of appearance. So next would be Turians, which are like these bugmen people.
Are they buggy? I guess they're kind of buggy.
They've got like
yeah, they got like mandibles. They are bird bug men. You're right.
They're like big grasshoppers.
Yeah, they got kind of a crickety sort of a look to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turians are great. They're kind of the Paragon race I've always seen. You know, Turians are always the cool guys and your buddy. Sometimes even when they're the villain, they're the cool guy villain.
Yeah, you're just like, all right, here's my best buddy in the whole world, Garrus, and that's my mortal enemy of all time. But he's still cool.
Yeah, like Saren, like no one's arguing that Saren isn't cool.
No, he's super cool.
He's cheesy, maybe, but definitely cool in like a 90s sort of a way.
Yeah. The thing about Turians that I like is that like they come from a planet that's like incredibly inhospitable, and that like explains why they're so like gruff, and they're basically like the core of the galactic military. Like their planet is like mostly like metal, and like they can't eat any other food, and no one can eat Turian food. It's just overall. Yeah, no,
the lore for each of these races is so well thought out in terms of their origin story.
Yeah, no, that's
except for kind of the Asari for me. Theirs is the only one that doesn't really hold up. How so? Just because the Asari would be next anyway. If we're talking about the races in order of appearance, We've talked about the Asari a little bit. I feel like the hand shows a little more with the Asari. I feel like there's not really much of a good reason for them to have this miraculous like genetic assimilation ability. Whereas like the Turians, I absolutely see them as a direct result of their planet. I think it's done best with the Krogan.
Oh God, yeah, we'll get to the Krogan.
We'll get to the Krogans. I think it's done best with them. Whereas the Asari, I feel like there's not a lot of justification for this like miraculous quality that they possess. And in lieu of no good explanation, it's clear, they're the sexy aliens.
Yeah, it's very good that like one thing that I can point out is like if they're okay, so we'll talk about the sexy vampire in the room. Apparently,
dude, we should always address the sexy vampire in the room.
Yeah. So apparently, when it's genetic, it's like inbreeding, essentially, basically like.
Well, for them to reproduce with their own kind.
Yeah. Yeah, like for them to reproduce
because they do it psychically, right? They read your mind and then somehow copy your genetics that way.
Yeah, that's basically
so.
But like apparently when you do that a bunch with like their own species rather than like getting like fresh genetic code from other species, that causes like these, they have like a special word for it and I don't remember it, but basically psychic vampires, they're like, all right, anytime you fuck something, you're gonna kill it and also become like it's like Dragon Ball logic, where like instead of getting the living shit kicked out of you and you come back twice as strong every time you fuck something and kill it through fucking, you become twice as strong.
Like compared to all the other races, they're the most like World of Warcraft sexy magic elves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. And I do like the Asari. I think they're, I don't think Mass Effect needs to be like a stringent thing. It just has really good lore, but I like it as a kooky kind of off the wall, sort of retro sci-fi throwback adventure.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, it's a good thing that, like, they found a Prothean beacon intact on their planet, and that's why they were, like, the first to, like, go out into space. It's a real good thing they did that fast, because, like, if they had to do it the hard way, like everyone else, everyone was a psychic vampire by that point.
It relies on them actually, like their entire physiology relies on them becoming, the sexy space people banging aliens. Because their inherent physiology doesn't have any notion of space travel. They wouldn't evolve towards space travel in their like reproductive ways.
No,
that's really playing the long like gamble there. Evolution. It's like spaceships, all sorts of aliens to, I guess, psychically assimilate.
Whereas, like, it makes sense for like the Turians because they're like. Because of the super harsh environment.
A product of a harsh environment, yeah. So, and the Krogans, oh my God.
The Turians have a super harsh environment, which caused them to have a very, like, focused, pragmatic outlook on life, which means they are more, they lend themselves more to, like, that militaristic mindset. So they united fast, they became a military force, and then they go out into the stars. And that because of that, they're, like, the main bulk of the galactic military presence, and it makes sense. And that also makes sense in like their ship design, because like if you look at like the Turian ships, they're like super minimal. They don't give two shits about aesthetics.
Oh no, they're super functional, super practical, and they've got hard angles. Well, a lot like their bodies. Like they're a species that are born into armor.
Yeah, because they got like a thick.
They've got an exoskeleton of like
thick exoskeleton.
Feathery lizard plate looking. Yeah, but they're like Komodo dragon bird bugs.
Yeah, if you look at their ship design, they're just like extremely functional.
Yeah, no, I love the Turians. I don't have a lot of complaints about them.
I still think the ships look cool in their own way, but like they're definitely like you're like that is meant to be a big gun and nothing else.
Yeah. Who appeared next? Solarians?
I think at that point everything just happens. Like after that point, you just hit the Citadel and they all appear at the same time.
Okay, well, I don't really have a lot to say about the Solarians. You know, they're the Greys, and that's great. I like having them around.
They're gray men. In fact, like in the lore of the universe, like Solarians discovered humans early on, like while we were like they like it's like hinted at like the Roswell alien was the Solarian.
Yeah. Freaking what was it called? It's gonna come up at some point because the influence is very clear. Do you know about a game called Star Control 2?
No.
It's an old PC game that is an excellent Mass Effect game. It literally the influence so on the nose in a good way because they're both so good. But humanity. The basic premise is you're a space captain. Humanity is in dire straits because a race of genocidal cephalopod ancient beings are on their way to cleanse the galaxy. So you need to have diplomatic relations with all the different species and bring them together into a coalition to fight against the impending cephalopod existential threat. And there's a blue space babe all in both games as well.
Oh my God, BioWare fucking hacks.
There's a wonderful little race in Star Control 2 called the Arilu Lalile, who are also just the Greys. They visited Earth. They did the Solarian thing.
I hear that. I thought you just read just Lale Lule Lo, and I'm just like,
no, it's Arilu Lalile. And no, that's the thing I love about it. And Mass Effect, especially Mass Effect. I love it when sci-fi is willing to throw caution to the wind and be a little stupid. Just be a little silly. Have your Elcor, have your Hanar. Please, for the love of God, have Blasto.
Oh, Blasto. Oh.
But that's such a great idea. Like aliens trying to make like a Michael Bay blockbuster. They see that it's like humans are a market.
Yeah, right?
Let's make that. And they try their best, and we get Blasto, the best movie in the galaxy.
The thing is about Solarians that I really like is that they only live till they have a hyper accelerated metabolism, so they only live to be about like 40 is like their max age. Mm-hmm. Like they're old, like they die really quickly. But because of that, they're so smart. They are the scientists. They're so smart because they're like hyper accelerated, but that also means they've got like their brains work faster, and so they're just like they're like going at that science shit. And I just love. Probably one of my favorite characters in the game, who is a Solarian, Mordin Solus. Who is like, we're going to talk about this later, but he's like a huge contender for best companion in the game.
What I love so much about that is what it does to their outlook on life and what they want to spend their time with in the universe. Like they're all such pioneers because they don't have time for anything else.
Yeah.
And like he's morbidly aware of this.
Yeah, they're very aware that they have very short lifespans, and they're like, well, I'm gonna make the best of it.
So yeah, I definitely love the Solarians. Yeah, Mordin's probably my favorite character.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Second to, I honestly, I can't give it to Legion.
He's not a person.
I mean, no, he is. I love Legion, but he's not nearly as I feel unique as Mordin.
Yeah, Legion is great, but he's like that standard like AI gaining sentience. Are we?
I just. Yeah, we'll get into Legion. I've got beef with the Geth. Okay,
all right. So, moving on past the Solarians, we got
Krogan.
We can talk about Krogan now.
Krogan are kind of your big burly fight Klingon savage monster men who are really sometimes super honorable, sometimes not, and you've got our gruff guys with hearts of gold are kind of a big thing with them.
They're big, angry dinosaur lizard guys with like weird bump mouths, and I love it.
Yeah, they're pretty rad. Let's not recite their whole history with the Solarians. The Solarians left too many crop circles and caused a ruckus, and now we've got invincible monster alien battlemen.
Basically, what you need to know about the Krogan is that giant space spiders almost wiped out the galaxy, and the Solarians gave the Krogans guns and nuclear weapons and had them go kill it. And then they made them infertile because they realized that they gave a bunch of a species that has no filter and no concept of maybe that's enough.
So there's a wonderful commercial where a girl is trying to get her boyfriend to kill a spider. And the spider kicks his ass. I just want to put a Solarian like in the girlfriend's position, have the Solarian hand the Krogan's a frying pan, take a step back, and the spider's coming.
Are so wonderfully aggressive to the point that they are anger management issues incarnate. And I love them.
And then you get a puberty-stricken, a newborn Krogan battle boy.
Voiced by I'm so bad with names. I met him.
Grunt.
I met him at Grunt, but not Grunt, the voice actor.
Dave Bautista.
No. He voiced Spike. He voiced Spike in
Spike Spiegel.
Spike Spiegel.
Oh yeah, shit. You know what? We're gonna edit this out, and we're gonna know his name.
Yeah, we're gonna know his name. Hold on, I'm gonna totally just edit it out right now.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend that we know.
This is so bad because I met him, Steve Bloom. God, I knew it was Steve something. I met him at SenshiCon. He came to Alaska.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was great. There was this amazing moment where like people were asking him, they're like, "Did you enjoy voicing Grunt in Mass Effect?" And he just goes, and like that, he just does Grunt's laugh, and I fanboyed out. I lost my shit.
That's fun.
Steve Bloom is so amazing. I love him.
Man, you know what? It was pretty tough keeping Rex alive in Mass Effect 1. Like my first time through, I wasn't able to do it.
Really?
Yeah, Ashley shot him right in the head. And then, Ashley. So when I was playing Mass Effect 1, I was very, very big into Star Trek because, hello, have we met? And I was so stoked on Mass Effect because Mass Effect 1 especially was trying so hard to be the Star Trek game, and it did so well.
Yeah.
And from the minute I met him, Caden Alenko was the red shirt of my team, and I knew that. So when the time came to drop a bomb on someone, I knew who it had to be right away. Caden died in Mass Effect 1. We hardly knew him. But, may he rest in space peace. But then I realized in Mass Effect 2, the journey of my Commander Shepard, that he had made a terrible mistake because Ashley is horrible. After I ran into Ashley on the colony that the Collectors attacked, he left that mission feeling bad, not for all the dead settlers, but because he killed Caden, the better person. And Ashley just doesn't deserve the life that I let her have in space.
The thing is that like you like Ashley for me doesn't grow as a character. Like at no point does she there are like small moments here or there where she's like, yeah, aliens aren't so bad, but like you're like that does not compare at all to like, I don't know if you played the Citadel DLC at all.
I watched all of it on YouTube.
Yeah, so you know that one where you bring Caden on and like he cooks you a meal.
Yeah,
it's that like that one moment has more character and development for him than in the entirety of Ashley's arc if you let her live.
Yeah, well, I did until in Mass Effect 3, I believe I had a bit of a kerfuffle with her, and I my finger slipped on that renegade button, which in retrospect, my Commander Shepard looked back on fondly because Caden, it was tragic, sure, but it was far away. It was on a planet. It's kind of abstracted. I got to watch the light leave Ashley's eyes.
It's okay because like this
is the one time you'll catch me being so dark about one of these characters because I tend to love them.
Unlikable.
I had a running kind of like beef with Ashley.
That's the thing is like one thing I love is that Garrus has no fucking qualms He just straight moves her.
No, Garrus, man, there should just be an option at the end of any conversation that Garrus will shoot the guy. Like, if you're not actively paying attention and stopping him, he will shoot everyone you talk.
Especially after Mass Effect 2, after he becomes Archangel.
Yeah, he's just like, I just decided to become Batman without you, Shepard.
Like, Shepard, you die.
I got so used to being your cool Spock that by the time it came around, beyond my own, I couldn't keep it going, man. I had to become Batman.
Shepard, you left a hole in the galaxy. A hole needed to be filled with violence, and I filled that hole.
Does he say that?
No, he doesn't say that, but doesn't that sound like something he would say?
Yeah, it does. Violence filled that hole. It's like, because it opens you up to make fun of him.
Yeah.
Which is something BioWare likes to kind of slip in there when you're talking to like Garrus or Joker.
Yeah. You fuck with them.
Or a villain. Always be a snarky asshole to the villains. What were we talking about? We're talking about races.
Okay, so we just finished, like, before we got sidetracked shitting on Ashley. Because who can
Ashley's great.
But we were on the Krogan, so I think up next would probably be the Quarians.
All right, the Quarians are probably my favorite race.
I'm actually with you on that one. I love the Quarians. Well,
I love the Quarians because I love Battlestar Galactica. And I love that they love Battlestar Galactica so much that they're just living the dream. They're just living it. I would love it if I actually like was Commander Shepard hanging out and like was familiar with pop culture like sci-fi characters are so often not allowed to be.
Yeah.
And Commander Shepard's like, hey, Tally, have you ever seen this show? And she just watches the opening of Battlestar Galactica and has like a flashback. Because it's the exact same story, but it's even worse for them because they have to wear suits everywhere.
So yeah, it's the exact same premise as Battlestar Galactica. They invent robots. The robots gain sentience and like completely like almost wipe out their race, and to survive they all have to like run away on whatever fucking makeshift space vessels they could get. But it also turns out that they've got like really shitty immune systems that were not
just on top of all the shit that gets piled on top of Battlestar Galactica protagonists, you also just catch every disease.
The slightest cold will kill you. They all have to wear environmental suits now.
It's like Battlestar Galactica with super AIDS. I love the Quarians. They're my favorite race. I love their suits. I love their art. I love their design. I love the cute little alien words that they say all the time.
I love, Kira Salai.
Yes, and there's a swear word. Tally always calls people something.
Yeah. Boshtet.
Boshtet, right. It's Baka for spacemen.
Why'd you have to ruin it?
Now just imagine Tally with blushies doing anime cliches.
I really don't want to.
It's too late.
Oh, that's going to stay with me later.
Now you share the curse.
The Quarians are so cool because they're basically like, because they had to evac their planet so suddenly with like spaceships that were not meant to hold a large population for long periods of time, because they've been exiled for like centuries. Mm-hmm. They've been gone from their home planet for like centuries, and so because they all have to become really good mechanics. They're all like, most Quarians are really good at working with technology and machines. Because they got to keep their ships running, because if their ships go down, they're fucked. And like they can't use different ships for their like living quarters.
This is another great example of Mass Effect's, really well-reasoned world building and how they tie that into gameplay. Because there's just a whole tech tree of skills, and they were able to actually build a race around a gameplay mechanic and perfectly, sensibly explain it away.
Yeah.
Not like dark elves can use blood magic because they're both edgy. Nothing like that. It's like, why are they all mechanics? Well, they live in a machine.
They live in a machine, and if that machine breaks, they die.
Exactly. What do you want from us? They're good with the tech skills. This isn't Skyrim. You can't make Talia biotic.
No. Biotics. So good. We'll have to talk about that eventually.
I mean, again, it ties into how cohesive everything is with the Mass Effect fields. It's like, okay, we even have wizards.
Yeah.
But it's not like they can do anything. They can only do Mass Effect manipulation with their minds. It's not like they can shoot lightning hands.
No, they're like, all right,
they can't throw fireballs or predict the future. They can manipulate mass. They have
I can make you levitate.
super specific telekinesis.
Punch you with telekinesis. I can teleport myself.
Float around a bit.
Yeah.
It's so good. They even have wizards that work great. Mass Effect. Space world building done right.
Pretty much.
There's never a bit where Harrison Ford needs to poke his head around the corner and go, "That's not how biotics work." Oh shit, he should have said it to that little Volus guy who thought he was a biotic god.
Well, now that we're out of the core races, the ones that actually have main characters, we might as well talk about the side races.
You wanna
the Volus
we want to
start there.
Want to springboard onto the Geth off the Quarians real quick?
Oh right, yeah, we should go on to the Geth. So yeah, the Geth are the robots that the Quarians built, and I love their design.
I love that they look like Quarians.
Yeah,
it's very obvious.
Look like Quarians, but with one LED light eye.
Yeah, because the Pixar lamp is just doing such a good job. I got to give them a whole robot race.
Pretty much.
But no, I love the big hulking Geth units.
Yeah, the red ones.
I love that they were able to take the Geth eye, which is a pretty blank, visage, and give it a lot of articulation and personality in Legion.
Yeah, no, Legion, whenever he talks, he's you can tell he's using expressions because his little eye and the flaps around it will move depending on what mood he's trying to convey.
It's so nice. It's so good, but it also makes sense that none of the other ones can do that.
Yeah, because Legion's special because he's got the most collective inside him.
He's got a whole Geth network instead of just one chess piece unit.
Yeah.
Kind of battle droid. I find the Geth frustrating a little bit.
Oh, please tell.
Because of a little bit of a discrepancy between what Mass Effect 2 and 3, I think. Because in Mass Effect 2, Legion says that the Geth you've been fighting are, they're only a little renegade band that ran off to get real cozy with the Reapers.
Yeah.
And that most of the Geth are really just trying to hide out in a nebula somewhere and build a Dyson sphere and just live in it forever and never talk to anybody.
Yeah.
That's their plan.
Yeah, that's my plan too.
Yeah, right.
That's my dream goal.
Oh God, it so is. But then in Mass Effect 3. It is instigated, it's not just an arbitrary change because the flotilla attack the Dyson Sphere. The Quarians, launch a big counterattack on the Geth. But then suddenly the majority of the Geth don't just they jump to fighting with the Reapers. Yeah. As their conclusion to this. And I don't know, I felt like they were going in one direction with the Geth, and then they just made them so fickle in Mass Effect 3.
Uh-huh. I kind of get it in 3 because Legion explains that the Reapers basically show up and they're like, "Hey, it's a real shame that your creators are about to wipe you all out. We can help." And they're like, "Yeah, all right. Well, I guess slavery's better than annihilation. I'll take that deal."
Yeah, it's just. I don't know. Legion really kind of hyped up the morality of the Geth in a way.
Yeah.
That the Geth were, above all else, independent. And that's why they, resisted the Quarians so heavily and tried to detach themselves from them. And just that would turn on a dime just made me kind of lose a lot of interest in them,
See that. I can see it.
I like the kind of twist in Mass Effect 2 that the Geth were a little more complicated than, a networked AI of Terminator killbots that just happened to fall in with Lovecraft characters.
Yeah, I get you.
They were broadened out quite a lot in Mass Effect 2. And then Mass Effect 3, I feel like they just kind of stepped back in line of being, bad guys until you forcibly reprogram their minds, which is cool. And the Quarian story was the best in Mass Effect 3.
I agree.
I think
it can go terribly
kind of any way. It can go any way. There's only like one way to get it right.
It can go so bad. Oh God. I got it done. I got it done perfect on my first run through, but I was curious to see what the other outcomes would be, so I like YouTubed it. And then when Tali kills herself.
Yep. She takes off her mask and you're like, ooh. And she turns around and like drops the mask off the cliff and you're like, oh no. And then even getting the Paragon hand catch doesn't work.
She just kills herself because you just wiped out her whole species.
You know, that whole arc was the thing I was looking forward to most because, like I said, I love Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. And I'm not a fan of the ending of Battlestar Galactica, so I've still got that like unrequited want to see how this story ends. And I was so into the Quarians because who doesn't love Tali? Hello? Anyone out there? Not Tali fans? Exactly. So like Tali was my Mass Effect 2 like romance character.
Same.
Because I assumed she was a dinosaur. Like I assumed she would look kind of like a velociraptor. Based on her feet and her hands and her posture, like I assumed she was a dinosaur lady.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like my Commander Shepard was enough of a weirdo to be like so curious about what's inside that pickle jar. You know, like you show him tantalizing eyes from behind a pickle jar mask, you know, and what is in there? It's, you know, it's so interesting. So I was, you know, invested in the Quarians and in Tali as a character. So when we got to the end of that, there was so much tension. I actually sat down, I put my controller down, and I had to pace around a while thinking about my decision. They're in that final confrontation with the Geth and the Quarians down on Rannoch. So like Commander Shepard, there's all this tension, and then Commander Shepard just stands there. They're like, Shepard, what do we do? We're all dying up here. And he's just like,
give me a minute.
Yeah, just standing around, and everyone's just also just standing there watching him, waiting. And I just leave my controller, pace him, and I don't know what to do. I got the good ending, and it was great. Probably my best BioWare moment and my last good BioWare moment.
R.I.P. Legion.
Oh, gosh. The fucking Destroy ending has such a caveat. It's so weird.
Uh-huh.
But no, that Rannoch storyline was so good. The Quarians, I actually like it a little more than Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, right.
Because it adds that level of sympathy for the big other in the robots.
Yeah, they're not just like a faceless bad guy. Like there's motivation.
Well, the Quarians were the aggressors.
Yeah.
The Quarians started the war. Just like in The Matrix.
Yeah.
Like it's multiple times did they try to stop the fighting, and the Quarians just kept exterminating them.
Exactly. Like if you had to hold my hand and you're like, out of the two in this situation, which one would I side with? I would like morally would pick the Geth because they didn't ask for this conflict.
Yeah, no, it was because they didn't destroy the planet. They don't need to keep the planet. They don't need to live on planets, but they're taking care of it anyway.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything against the Quarians, you know, fundamentally. It's just they're at war now because you keep killing us all the time. So, you know, forgive us if we play it safe and build a space army. The Geth are incredible. I love that they leave it in like no uncertain terms that they were attempting to be peaceful in this situation.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of the stormtroopers of Mass Effect, the Geth.
Yeah, you fight them a lot because they're just like a faceless enemy that you're like, I have no qualms about murdering this.
I guess they're the battle droids.
Yeah, they're the battle.
But yeah, they're just like a unit. Oh, all right. While we're here, what did you think of Tali's face reveal?
I was
just being this like photoshopped image you find in your room later.
Yeah, I'll probably put up like the image on screen of like the stock photo that they ripped off the internet.
Oh yeah, no, we'll
painted it like blue or what it was like.
They painted it they toned like the whole thing purple. I think you know how Tally's got like I said, a dinosaur hand.
Yeah,
she's got 2 fingers and a thumb.
Yeah,
but they're positioned kind of, you know, like a bird kind of talon a little bit. Like they're weird. Like all they did for the Photoshop is they just like airbrushed out 2 of her fingers, so it's just like a human hand with 2 fingers missing.
and it's just a human woman with like slightly more angular features, and it's like
she's got like she's got eyebrows drawn on her forehead, like little eyebrows going up.
I wish, and
missing fingers.
The thing that upsets me is I feel like instead of a goddamn photo in my room, it should have been like I should have gotten to see her face when she took her mask off on Rannoch.
Yeah, at least make a face. You made that woman from the G4 television channel a character, but you didn't make Tally a face. Jessica something, internet gamer woman, talking head.
It was such a bizarre choice to have that, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, no, I was disappointed with the Tally face reveal. They hype it up so much, and like she is, in my opinion, the best waifu in the game series.
I agree completely. There's like, yeah,
you just want to know what
her and Garrus. Tally and Garrus are the best.
I agree.
Best romance characters.
It's a shame that like Garrus has a crush on Tally, and like
I know.
You're like, Garrus, couldn't you have picked literally anyone else? Now I'm conflicted.
Like Garrus, like just hook up with Liara. It's okay. You're both weirdos. I don't know. You both have those slit things on the top of your heads. Asari clearly are supposed to look attractive to Turian. Go to a guy at the bachelor party. It's like, yeah, bro, I see it.
This is why I love that moment in the Citadel DLC where like you play wingman for Garrus.
Isn't there in the Citadel DLC? Doesn't Tally sleep with Javik?
No,
the Jamaican. Okay, that's good.
You can sleep with Javik.
I feel like Javik has insect wings. Do you feel like he's got some like bug wings under that samurai armor?
I want to believe it. I want to believe that he has them, but he's self-conscious about them because they're small.
Aw, Javik.
Yeah.
I love the Prothean design. We should talk about them as the final race.
Yeah, we'll talk about them. Let's do the Volus. I want to talk about the Volus.
They're tiny banker.
I hate them.
They're like little mole men who run all the banks, right?
Yeah, I don't hate them design-wise. I think design-wise they're amazing. And they're like
they're usually like assholes that the game wants you to Paragon slap to renegade slap.
That's the thing. That's why I hate them. There is no Volus that you're not like, and they're all assholes.
No, they totally tempt you into like wanting to be mean to them because they're jerks. Like that's what they're there for in the game.
The only one that I didn't actively dislike is the one that's so high off of his ass that he can't.
Like, I am a biotic god. Wait a minute, that made him sound like a crippled old man. He was like,
they're all crippled old men.
Yeah, they have like a horrible breathing, like they have a horrible like Darth Vader thing going on, right?
It's way worse though, because they have to do it like every other fucking sentence. They're just like,
oh yeah, even talking to them is just a pain in the ass. They're just so unpleasant.
Yeah, and like I get that was like the point, but like it's like, can I just meet like one Volus that I don't hate?
I just don't see
a Volus crew member that just runs your like a shop on the ship.
Like it makes enough sense, and I suppose, you know, the galaxy isn't tailored to you. There might just be a race out there that's just a pain in the ass inherently. They don't even the most well-meaning Volus would be a pain in the ass to deal with. But you know, like that's not their fault. And the galaxy doesn't owe you any favors.
They all have to wear these like little pressure suits because they come from a planet with like super dense gravity, and like if they don't stay in that environment, they just explode.
They've got like a really pressurized atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll like burst into a horrible bloody mess. I can only assume if that suit is torn. Man, imagine if they. Imagine if they made us fight Volus enemies at some point and killing them. Just, oh god.
It's like, I don't know if you ever played Destiny at all, but
I have.
okay, so like the Cabal.
Yes. Oh, those big cute like hamster guys.
Yeah,
that are actually like scary naked mole rat guys.
Yeah, if you like shoot their helmets off, it like decompresses.
Yeah. Those are the Cabal are just big Volus, man.
Yeah, they're just Volus on roids.
Maybe they are maybe just like their banker class, like their economists are these little guys. But like you meet the rest of the Volus and they're ball.
Okay, so
Hanar.
The Hanar are amazing. They're these like jellyfish people who have like echoey psychic voices with glowy mouths.
Yes. I love that they worship the Protheans even more than everyone else.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that are like Covenant, like levels of enthused by the ancient aliens.
I love it so much.
Like everyone else in the galaxy is like appreciative of the Protheans, interested in the Protheans, and exploits their technology. But the Hanar fucking worship these guys.
I remember that. I still remember that. Like the first Hanar you meet in Mass Effect 1 is like in trouble because he's preaching without a religion license.
Right.
You're like, and he's like, I'm not. He's like, this one refuses to stop preaching the progenitors' sacred word, and the guy's like, shut. Like the poor CSEC officers, guys. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, I love that there's just ordinary human beat cops on the Citadel.
Yeah. That's why I love Bailey so much. From Mass Effect 2 and 3, I love him so much. He's just like, that guy. Shit happens as always, and you're just like, man, Bailey, you're such a mood. You get it.
Man, he's got such a gig. I'm out there fighting evil and rescuing damsels in distress from monsters, and you're here just doing paperwork and stop it. You're the real hero. Really, honestly, he kind of is. Okay, so we've talked about the Elcor. Elcor and Hanar together make great films.
I want on the Elcor. Yeah, they do. But the Elcor, real quick, one thing I want to touch on, which I think is an amazing lore detail, is that they come from a planet that's almost like completely flat terrain. Mm-hmm. And so that's why they're very like top heavy, and like if a Elcor falls over, it's like a tragic thing, and like the community has to get together to help them back up. but the thing I love most is like they have a military, and all they do is because they're big elephant people, they just
they become living tanks.
Yeah, they just strap huge guns to their backs, and they're like, walk forward, and they're like, will do. Aggressive resignation will walk forward. I love them. They're amazing.
They're so good. Mass Effect really kills it with the kind of the one race that doesn't really kill it for me are the the scary alien.
The scary
Vorex? These super aggressive, scary, spiky metal band monster demons from Doom.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like, I love how like their entire species is like, we're cronies for
villains
for the Krogan mostly.
Yeah.
No. Oh,
I don't know. I'm not.
You're thinking of Varen, which are like those.
Dogs. Varen. Yeah, you're right. Varen are the dogs. There's those other guys. What are they? I feel like they started with a V. But it's okay. They hardly matter. I think
they really.
There might be some secret cool lore, but I have no idea anything about them.
They just exist to basically just
die.
to die. They show up. There's no reasoning with them. You have to fucking kill them.
Yeah, they're just scary. They're scary demons from a planet, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Prothean. Maybe?
Yeah, we could touch on. Vorcha, you're right. They were called Vorcha.
Oh, Vorcha! It does start with a V. Yeah, the Vorcha are useless.
Yeah, they're just
a monster.
A scary monster for you to shoot. There's the Batarians, which are like those like four-eyed pirates.
Yeah, they should have done more with the Batarians. We should have had a Batarian crew.
They're like exclusively like there's like ones that can be reasoned with, but like the most part they're just like generic bad guys. They're like, if I'm not a pirate, I'm a slave, or if I'm not a slaver, I'm a terrorist. There's no in between.
They're a step above the Vorcha. They're a step above the Vorcha though, because at least they're not gnashing goblins. Like they're dastardly villains of one sort or another. You know, they have different motivations. You could have like an imperialistic Batarian or a greedy, self-serving Batarian. Vorcha are just monsters.
There's also the Drell.
Oh shoot! What were the Drell?
The Drell, like the.
I might have completely forgotten a massive.
You remember what? No, I'm like.
Oh, right! The green Turian Asari hybrid lizard assassin man.
Yeah, what's his name?
Sidonus.
No, no, not Sidonus. That's a different character. What is his name?
Wow!
What is his name?
I don't know. He wasn't as good as Garrus as a romance option, so I don't remember him.
No, I like him though. Was it like?
Yeah, he had a son.
Was it
Thane? Thane. It was Thane. Yes, it was Thane.
Are you sure it was Thane?
I think so. I'd bet you $10 it's Thane.
You are correct. His name is Thane Krios.
$10 confident. He had a son. He died.
He had a son. He died. He was great. Are these like cool like desert lizard people who like serve the Hanar because
we only ever see like them. We only ever see like 2 Drell in the whole series.
We actually see 3 because there's one who's friends
who is the third?
I don't know if did you ever get the in Mass Effect 2, did you ever get the Shadow Broker DLC?
I did not. No, I didn't play any of those.
Okay, so in the Shadow Broker DLC, Liara actually you actually have to put her into the Shadow Broker mantle, and that involves And part of that you have to rescue like a friend / contact of hers who turns out to be a Drell. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, cool. I'm all for more Drell. No, because I do like them. I wish they were a little more substantial in the world. You know, I feel like some of the races get so much limelight, and then the others are just kind of peeked at now and again.
It makes sense for the Drell though, because they're like almost extinct because their planet like.
I mean, at the very least, we've had a Drell crewman. It would have been nice to do a quest for them. Go maybe see where they live. See a little bit about their explore them with the Hanar a little bit. Maybe they should just stop being cowards and give us a Hanar crewman.
All right.
Just a floating armored ball with like 1 million guns.
He's like the best damage wise, but like the problem is that you have to wait for him because he moves so slowly.
He just floats really slow, but he's shooting in every direction at all times.
Blasto!
Oh my god! Dude, Blasto would basically just be the Mandalorian.
Honestly, though, yeah. I wonder if there's a mod that lets you like hang out with.
You just imagine putting a Mandalorian helmet on it. So it's just a Mandalorian head with tentacles and guns.
Okay, I feel like we should wrap up here, but before we do, we should go out of all of these we've listed, what is your favorite race and your least favorite?
My favorite race is the Quarians. My least favorite's the Vorcha because they're terrible.
They really are.
If I have to count an actual race, we haven't talked about the Rachni or the Collectors.
Oh right. Or the
Collector Protheans. Yeah,
the Collectors are just corrupted Protheans, and they're creepy as all fuck. Protheans are like so how it is like billions and billions and billions of years ago, the Reapers were created, wiped out their creators, and they're like, all right, every cycle, we're going to come back and wipe out all the spacefaring races because...
Shit, dude, we didn't even get into the Reapers.
and they're...
At all.
Yeah. And then, like, the Protheans were, like, the most recent spacefaring existence before ours.
Well, they were the winners.
Yeah,
because they reference a lot of other species. Yeah, they were. Who are Jamaican, but dressed like samurai. which is great. I love them. I love Javik.
He's
and their biotics are green, so you know it's ancient and more mystical.
Yeah.
Like other green things in space. Dude, we have to do a double feature of this. There's too much of Mass Effect.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2. The next episode will probably just be us concluding Mass Effect. We didn't even touch on the ending or the indoctrination, but that'll probably come out next week.
You know, we pretty much covered the modern day galactic cycle of the galaxy pretty cleanly. We talked about everyone who's alive today but Cerberus. But we talked about the elusive man's office, which is the most important thing that Cerberus has.
Pretty much, yeah. Honestly.
So that we've pretty much already covered that as well. So next episode, we'll be talking about the last cycle. We'll talk about the Protheans, the Collectors, the Reapers, and the ending.
The nitty gritty.
Yeah. Ooh. Could be like a little satellite episode, maybe.
All right. Well, I've been Richard.
I've been Ryan this whole time.
At no point was Ryan replaced with a robot clone.
No, that'd be ridiculous.
No.
No, that doesn't happen to people.
All right. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you all for hanging out with us while we who was raving, who was ranting, we decided.
We were both doing equal measures of both.
All right, cool. Well, never stop raving.
Never stop ranting. All right, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we can say something like that.
Thanks. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week where we'll continue our discussion about Mass Effect, and I hope you guys have a good day.